Hey there. Go ahead and grab a chair, a cold one, sit back, and relax. This is the Fireside Chat-Off.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Fireside Chatot. I'm Astro Zombie, as you all should know, and I'm hanging out here with my friend Dinho.
What up?
What up? So this week's Chatot, we'll have show notes. Unlike last week's, which was probably the best one we've done so far. And I didn't put the show notes in. It just too much going on last week. So this week our chatot is pretty much about this past weekend. With the the question here is, with the BTW crew having played in a live tournament, what would you say are some big takeaways from the in-person experience of battling? What was the scene like at regionals, and did it live up to the image in your mind of what a big tournament would look like with some of the best players in the world attending? I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, of course. So big takeaway, I would say, like with the in-person experience is, battling in person is completely like different than battling
100%.
from your comfort of your house or your room or your chair, and battling in front of this person, seeing their reaction after every play, being good, being bad. Uh, you can see them mauled in front of you. Maybe if you see that, we did see one person, hit the table when we were over there, uh, which was interesting. We finally found somebody that mauls more than Lyle.
Dude, that
So
one guy, he was bitching over everything.
yeah,
I wanted to find out what his name was, um, just so I could try and see if I could find maybe someone had a video of him or something of
right,
things not to do in front of other people while you're playing this game.
yeah. But yeah, I would say that. Uh, I would say that if you were to want to do this next year, right? I would say hopefully with Sylph, uh, with things calming down with COVID, that there's gonna be more in-person tournaments for Sylph. Definitely try to do those. Like doing that helps you a lot for that coming. Maybe you won't get that nervous playing in front of anybody anymore, right? Because I know that we all had that issue. We played probably worse than we would normally just sitting here at our house or in your room. So I think the big takeaway is like definitely try to get comfortable playing in front of somebody versus playing from your comfort of your home. And I think we talked about it a little bit in the episode, but the scene being there in the international championships and the first one that Pokemon Go was included was just amazing. It was an overall amazing thing. We learned not just stuff about Pokemon Go. We learned about how TCG may work. I know Astro and his wife learned how to play TCG. So there's a lot of takeaways. You got to buy plushies. I bought well, you probably can't see it there, but I bought a Sableye and Swampert plushie, and if I was gonna go on stage, I was gonna put those next to me because those are the Pokemons I brought and I like to use. Um, so
What didn't we buy? But regret now.
so in the Pokemon Center, I don't know if people know about this, but in TCG at least, anything with Charizard related is always expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Charizard cards are always expensive. Uh, there was a Charizard skateboard in the Pokemon Center section that has been sold out since I think 2020. We didn't know this till afterwards. I'm like, yo, that looks really cool, but it's 250, and I didn't bring something to to take. I just have my backpack and I don't have anything to check in, so I couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I'm like, let me. I went on Facebook, and there's a page for Pokemon World for TCG. So all over the world, people
Well,
like to
we
post.
first saw that someone bought it because we
Yeah.
went the next
Oh,
day
it's
and it was
gone.
gone.
And I'm like, damn it! Like, I wish I got it. Then I just happened to go on that same day on Facebook, and it showed somebody said that they bought it. That is 1 in 150 chance of like finding it, and that is super rare. And it was $250 to buy, and there's people selling it for $2,000. And yeah, we were pretty upset after we saw that. And if you kept it for longer, it would have obviously been more money afterwards. But I was just pissed because my love for Charizard, I guess, wasn't enough for me to purchase it and suck up like another $50 to pay for to put in the airplane and whatnot. But I was just really annoyed about that. But besides that, everything else amazing. Everything was crazy. Like it was just really good, really great experience. Do you have like what is your thoughts on that?
When I first so I'd been to like conventions before, even though this wasn't a convention, so I kind of had I know what like the atmosphere is kind of like. I actually saw a lot more people dressed up than I thought I would see. I don't.
I guess I wasn't paying attention because I didn't see any that were dressed up.
There was a couple.
Yeah.
There was a couple
Okay.
people. Like there was one guy in full Spark gear, and it wasn't Instinct Leader.
Michael was using the level 50 jacket. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, yo, that's cool. And I'm like, why does this guy look familiar? And then like the next day I found out that's Michael, and I'm like, holy crap. I guess the reason why I said that is I guess I can make fun of him because I'm short too. But he was short. He was my height. Like I was expecting a taller guy. Like this guy's like looks to me like he would be taller. But I guess we got a lot of surprises in terms of height this weekend or this past weekend. So
Lyles is actually much taller than he looks.
yeah, he's about like 6 inches taller than I thought he would be.
He looked like a giant standing next to me, Dinho, and my wife.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so yeah, there was a bunch of surprises in terms of height. So I mean, that's what you get, I guess, when you first meet people, like streamers, big, some of the best players that were known, like seeing them in person, like it just gives you a different like, I guess, mindset on them and your different opinion on them a little bit. But I would say because I've never been to any kind of convention or any kind of like thing like this, I think for me like it was just like a really like a huge highlight. I guess in my life, right? So
yeah,
I think I definitely enjoyed it and definitely lived up to what I wasn't really like planning it to be like something huge or anything like that, and it was definitely a lot better than what I expected.
Yeah. So I remember when we first got there, like walking up to the convention center and seeing like this giant like Pikachu thing that they had on the glass, and seeing like all of these people who were like me and liked the same things that I liked, that were my age, younger. There were some that were older. There was one lady sitting in the competitive TCG table that had to been in her 60s.
It tells you a lot, man. Like it tells you how much a franchise can do to like a person, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just insane how something. I mean, I don't want to say dumb because it's not dumb. Obviously, I play it, but like something like this where it's supposed to be like for kids mainly, that just brought like this huge community and how like great it is, right? Like with all these people that we met, like every single person that I battled, like we had a conversation, like really nice conversation, just talked about everything, like uh anything that, and like it was just really good. Like I didn't expect like the people that I would be facing would be like talking to me much, but everybody was talking very nice, very supportive. And every single person was like, "Oh yeah, what's your podcast?" And let me follow you and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that, honestly. Like, and I think that's what I think we can come to an agreement that that's what Pokemon is, right? It brings
Hmm.
people together that love the same thing.
Yeah, the atmosphere, getting through the line and walking through the door Friday into the, like, we saw like inside on Thursday when we went to register, but we didn't go. I don't think we were allowed in, or didn't try. But walking in Friday morning, and you walk in and there's a big fucking Pikachu in the air, all these signs and, photography sites, and you see all these tables for TCG, you see all these tables for VGC. I mean, everything, and all of these people in different things, and it was like such a light atmosphere. Like, we're all there to compete, but it was just like we're also there to have fun. Like everyone had that feeling. Like, I don't care how much of a Mulder you are, like, minus that one guy, and like occasional I saw someone like throw their glasses on the table, but I would have probably done the same because it was a really close loss. Um you didn't see people like freaking out, like getting upset.
What you saw is a bunch of like fist pumps and handshakes.
Yep.
Like even if you lost 2-0 or you got 0-2'd, like it was just a clean handshake. Like
Mhm.
you played really well, great catch, or that was
Mhm.
that was an amazing play. Like it
Yeah.
was always compliments at least like 90%, 95% of the time.
Yeah. Like, after that battle with House Stark, like, he had every right to just be like, "All right, bye." But like he actually took time to talk to me, and like, he won, but he was still like, "That was a close game. Oh, I really liked how you did that." Like, that puts a different perspective from me as a viewer. Like, I never watched any of his stuff. Now I'm going to, because he was like such just like a down to earth person. Um, the other thing that I saw that really kind of like hit me, um, was the passion people have for not just Pokemon Go, but just for the games in general. Um, you saw, obviously, later in the days as people were getting knocked out and stuff like that, you saw people like actually crying outside.
Oh
I
yeah,
was out
yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
outside with my wife, and I saw a gentleman that was older, and I'm not making fun of him. He was just so passionate and so like ready for this, that when he loses, like, that's the emotion that comes up. And he walked out. I saw him walk through the door, and he throws his hands up over his face, and he takes a breath, and he turns around, and you can see like the tears in his eyes coming down his face. He's had to been late 20s, early 30s. Um and it's not like he was crying because, he's a wuss or whatever, like, sore sport. It was just, you could tell he's crying because he was his passion. This is his passion. You saw little kids, like, the one thing it just like it got me was, we were walking back from lunch, um and there was a little kid and his dad, and he was just in tears, and he's just like, "I worked so hard on this deck, daddy. I worked so hard. I practiced so much." Like, I get it. Like, that's the emotion, but that's not because he's like a sore loser or a crybaby or whatever. It's because that was so much passion that he put into his game. And it's just now, like, he lost, and it's just all coming out. That's why you see people cry when they win. It's because it's just all of that coming out. Um, that was like the biggest thing. It was so much fun. It was the one time I felt like everybody there, like after all the shit that's been going on, it was like the one time where you were in a room with hundreds of people all celebrating one thing and celebrating each other. TCG people were hanging out with VGC people, Go players were hanging out with this. And on top of that, you got to see what those other people were doing. Like, I used to play TCG like forever ago. Stopped. After like sitting down and like watching some of the the people playing, like I was like hooked. I was like, man, I need to get back into this. Enough to where me and my wife did like an hour little like thing that they had there that teaches you like the basics of the game. For my wife who never played TCG, never played, GBL or anything like that, for her to leave with a desire to want to do that really shows like what this game can do, like this franchise can do to someone. My biggest takeaway from like the in-person experience is, yes, it's totally different. You're not comfortable. Like when you do a remote battle, you can put yourself in a comfortable position. Like Dinho says, go be in a quiet area where you can focus or things like that. You don't have that luxury in an in-person thing. You have people standing behind you, looking at your phone.
Or cameras just in your face.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or people doing, I guess, documentary or something. I don't know, but having a giant camera in your face as you're playing.
Yeah, looking at what you're doing in the phone, like if you fuck up, like.
And it's just a different, totally different experience. What I would say, what I took away from it was actually one thing that Lyle said made a lot of sense, was when he was on stage, because the announcers are being played through the overhead speakers, your headphones have white noise blasting through it. So you can't hear them narrating or doing play-by-plays. And he said that was pretty distracting because you're going in your ears while you're trying to play, on top of everyone there watching you. You're up on stage, you're being, streamed on Twitch, you got all the people there. Now on top of all that, you've got that blasting in your ears. I will definitely start practicing and playing my sets in a less comfortable position and state. I know you don't suggest it.
Yeah, that was like before this, right?
Yeah, but after this, man, like let my daughter jump on me while I'm playing, or let the kid.
Well, I wouldn't say that much because you won't see me jumping on you.
Yeah, but I mean, at one point, like, you had people standing over top of you.
That was you guys when I was battling.
No, that wasn't me. I stayed away.
I was like,
yeah, but it happens. Like, like I had freaking Toshi behind my head at one point. Like, like here, I could feel like
I think that I saw somebody behind you, but it wasn't Toshi. But maybe it was another time because you told us to stay away from you.
Stay away, yeah.
And we're like casually looking to see like how you're doing, but like we did stay away or try to see your opponent's screen over yours. But yeah, so I get it, but definitely something to take away for sure, like what you mentioned.
And the other thing is, don't make your team 2 weeks before the tournament.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say don't make your team a month before the tournament. Like, I was talking to this one guy that does TCG, and he was saying that the deck he was playing with, he built like for this almost a year ago. And he's been using that deck like consistently to know everything and anything he could about that deck.
Makes sense. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say a year, but definitely longer than
Yeah,
I want to say.
like
As
because the
soon as you
meta
find out you're going, right?
changes.
Yeah, exactly. So if that changes, then you're screwed.
Yeah, but learning those teams, spending a little more time than a couple weeks or a few practice tournaments or things like that. That was probably my biggest takeaway there, was that and memorizing moves and charts, because like I got lucky on some switches because I knew like the counts, but then there were some times where I switched too early and they were able to catch me, call my switch and go up to the next charge move and screw me. But other than that, it was great. I had a blast. I can't wait to do it next year.
Yeah, I definitely would say that I would do it again.
Yeah. I
Whenever
told
it is.
my oldest son that if he wants to start, playing TCG, I'll be there we'll do it together. And if he wants to compete next year, I'll bring him. Cause
Hell yeah.
it was awesome, like seeing like the tables with all the kids there and stuff like that, like going at it, like
Yeah,
so.
that's nice.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure if Wildcat was here, he'd have, his input, but I think we've pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I think that was like what we. I'm sure a lot of people maybe have like a little different view, but for the most part, I feel like everyone can agree that it was a great event, and definitely a lot of people would do it again. And a lot of people that I saw on Twitter were saying the same thing, that it wasn't about winning, it wasn't about competing, it was just about meeting people and just playing together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, with that, another fireside chat that is come and gone. So until next time, good night, good luck, and get good.
Thank you for listening to the Fireside Chatot, and until next time, good luck and get good.